Locomotion is the way people move around within virtual worlds. In order to get the best experience and reduce the risks of motion sickness or fatigue, it's important to understand the different types of locomotion, their pros and cons, best practices, and when best to use them. Currently, the different types of locomotion include real walking, redirected walking, walking in place, teleportation, dragging the world, and virtual motion such as flying or rolling through the environment. In this video, I'll be diving a little deeper into real walking, so let's go ahead and get started. With sixed-off environments, walking around in the real world corresponds directly with moving around in the virtual world. This is the best option for locomotion in virtual environments since it's least likely to cause motion sickness and doesn't have a learning curve. You get an increased sense of presence with the least amount of risk of motion sickness. You can move around the virtual world naturally with no controller interactions and no learning curve. If you can walk or move around in the real world, you're moving around in the virtual world. You can walk around digital objects and peek under them as if they were in real physical space. However, there are some downsides to real walking. People can forget about real-world obstacles within their play space, and once they run into something, that fear of future collision with real-world obstacles can prevent full immersion. If you would like to continue getting free content like this, be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you have a moment, comment in the videos. That will really help me know what's important to you as I create more content. The real world, or physical space, can be limited in comparison to the virtual environment in the headset. That means there's not a one-to-one correlation of physical and virtual space. That's where the other types of locomotion come in, but we'll save those for future videos. Since real walking is the best overall option, let's take a look at some creative workarounds for keeping us from having to use virtual types of locomotion. Barriers such as walls or furniture placed in the virtual world can help constrain people within a specific play space. Our brains will automatically tell us that's not a place to walk. If they need to move around to different areas or locations, you could use elevators or teleportation pods to take them from one location to another without them having to learn an interaction for locomotion. Headsets that support 6 degrees of freedom include a mesh barrier that you can set up to notify you when you're about to move outside of a preset protected physical space. Headsets such as Quest and Vive Cosmos include real-time inside-out tracking that alerts you when you've left the play area. They also use pass-through technology to give you a view of the real world as soon as you leave that protected play space. Overall, real walking is best used when there's enough physical space to move around safely without constantly colliding with the mesh guardian, which can break immersion. It's also best used when the goal is to create as fully immersive an experience as possible. I'd like to say thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. It really does mean a lot and makes a big difference. Creating this content takes a lot of time, money, and effort, so your support helps me to continue creating educational content like this. Becoming a patron also gives you access to our private Discord server, gives you early access to these videos, and gives you access to exclusive content not available anywhere else. If you'd like to become a patron, check out the link tree in the show notes.